Hello friends, welcome everyone. Today we'll learn more about the picture control settings of a Nikon camera using the 7200. So in the photo shooting menu, as you can see, after this white balance option there is a set picture control option. Here we will select the right from the joystick of the camera and it will go under this menu. There are settings for this picture control: standard, neutral, vivid, monochrome, portrait, landscape and flat. So by default the camera will be set to standard out of the box. It is a factory setting. Now if you click the right of the joystick like this, you can see these options: quick adjust, sharpening, clarity, contrast, brightness, saturation and hue. For the quick adjust button, if you go to the right of the menu, then you can see the sharpening, clarity, contrast, brightness will get increased. Or if you go to the left in the negative values, the values of all the options below will get decreased or have negative values. Now this is a quick thing. Now if you want to change individually each and every option like sharpening, clarity, contrast, brightness, saturation and hue, you can also do that. Now for sharpening is the sharpness of a photo. If you increase the sharpness, it will increase the sharpness. By default it is set to 3 in the standard profile. If you decrease the sharpness, it will definitely decrease the sharpness of your photo. Okay. Now the clarity, if you increase the clarity, it is by default it is set to 1, but if you increase the clarity in right side, then your lower midtones and the shadows will get more darker. That means it will get less exposed in the photo, thereby compromising the details in the shadow portions and the lower part of the midtones. And if you go left to a negative value, then your lower midtones and the shadows will get more and more exposed, thereby keeping the details in a photo. Now coming to the contrast, as you all know, if you increase the contrast, then the difference between the highlights and the shadows will get increased, and if you decrease the contrast, then the difference between the highlights and the shadows will get minimized, thereby resulting in a very flat kind of picture. Now brightness, if you increase the brightness, then what happens is the highlights of the photo is getting more exposed and the highlights will get more brighter, thereby compromising the details in your highlights. As you will go to the negative values, then the highlights will be less exposed, it will be less brighter, thereby preserving the details of highlights in your photo, right? And there is saturation. Saturation, as you know, it is the color. If you increase towards this side, it will increase the color of your photo, and if you decrease in this side, it will decrease the color of the photo, resulting in a desaturation of your photo. Now if coming back to the hue, right, is the last option. If you increase the hue towards this side, then the skin tone of a person which is orange, it will be more and more magenta, and if you decrease this thing to a negative value, then the skin tone of a person which is orange, it will be more and more towards the green. That's all friends, thank you.